Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Tech Motoring. On today's episode, we're going to be reviewing this. This is the Veepeak OBD2 scan tool with BLE, Bluetooth Low Energy. And we're going to take a look and see how this works today and how easy it is to set up and what applications work well with it. And we're going to go ahead and go deep into seeing how well this tool works. So hit that subscribe button, stay tuned. We're coming right back at you. Welcome back everybody. Well, like I was saying, we're going to be reviewing this. This is the Veepeak OBD2 scan tool, Bluetooth low energy version. They also have a Bluetooth low energy plus version, but Veepeak actually reached out to me to review this product for them. So I'm going to go ahead and review this honestly and show you exactly how this product works and how easy it is to work, hopefully. And we'll see how well it does connecting to multiple apps. So the first thing let's do is let's dive into the box itself. So this is just the standard white box that it comes in, nothing special. Open this up, and inside we do have a small instruction booklet right here. I'm sure not many people will look at that, but we'll go over a couple things in there. And then the other thing in the box here is this little case. Now this is actually really nice. And the reason I say it's nice is because sometimes you want to keep these in your car and you don't want to keep them plugged in, but you want to keep them somewhere in your car. And when you just have a small plastic OBD tool, it kind of either gets thrown into a glove box or somewhere, maybe gets possibly broken or cracked or whatever. But this is a nice little touch that they put it in a little case like this, because that's nice, that's thoughtful. So I like that. Good job, Veepeak, on that. We open up the case, and what do we have inside? Well, obviously we just have the OBD scan tool obviously inside of that little case. So perfect, that's all you need, right? So here it is. This is the OBD2 Veepeak BLE, not the BLE plus, not to be confused with that, but this is just the standard BLE. So it's a good size, which is nice. I do like the size. Sometimes when you get the ones that are like an extra inch and a half longer, they're just too big. They stick out of the OBD slot too far. You're always afraid that you're going to whack it with your leg or your knee or something, and then worst case scenario, you end up, damaging your OBD2 port. But this is small enough where you're really only going to have about that small amount sticking out of the port. The rest of this kind of sits over the port. So that's actually nice. It's a good size. So I'm glad to see that. Let's go ahead and just plug it in. Now, a couple things before we plug it in, though. If you have an iPhone, it says do not pair this with your iPhone through like the settings, Bluetooth, and then pair. Don't do that. I guess you have to do it through the app that you're going to be using to utilize this device. If you have an Android device, it says to pair it first through your Android operating system. So settings, Bluetooth, pair. It uses the basic pin code of 1234. So first things first, let's get this plugged in and we'll just see what comes up first on the phone. All right, so real easy in this vehicle. There's an OBD2 port right here on the bottom left. It's actually not even underneath the dashboard. It's kind of behind this panel here. We're going to plug this in to that port. All right, there's a small blue light on the Veepeak there, so that just shows you that that's on and working. So we're going to go ahead and start the vehicle. Now, this is a 2017 Hyundai Ioniq EV. So this is actually an electric vehicle. So we're going to just turn on the vehicle right now, and we're going to see how this works. So I was saying before that I have an Android phone. So this is going to be the Android process, which is basically going into settings, Bluetooth. Okay, so it comes up as Veepeak as the name. So what we're going to do is we're just going to tap on the Veepeak. So it's asking to pair with a PIN number, which is just 1234. We're going to hit OK. It is now pairing. Let's see if it actually shows it pairing successfully. Okay, so now it shows that it is a paired device to this phone. So now let's go ahead and go into an app and see what we're looking for with the app. Now, the first app I'm going to use is one specifically for the Hyundai Ioniq. It's called Can Ioniq 106. It's a pretty neat app, but it's specifically for Hyundai Ioniqs, I believe. So when you open up the app, it just immediately says, you know, which device do you want to connect to. I'm going to say the Veepeak, and let's hope it just connects to the Veepeak. Give it a sec. Connected successfully, so that's good right there. All right, so we are inside of the Can Ionic application here. So it shows that it's been connected to almost 30 seconds now. Let's see if we can get any type of data here. So it looks pretty cool. So as you can see on this screen here, we're looking at the accelerator pedal history. And as I push on the pedal, you can actually see that it shows in real time. We are getting feedback from the application. We can see into the battery status here. Battery status is showing the proper voltage of all the cells. Let's click on battery temp. So our battery temp is showing. Pretty interesting. I don't use this app very often, but it does look like it is reporting back some information. So it does appear to be working pretty well, which is nice to see. One more thing I want to test it with is a better Routeplanner. So a better Routeplanner is a really good application for traveling and knowing where to stop and for charging and everything like that. So what I want to do is I want to test it with that application now. All right, so now we're here in a better Routeplanner, and I'm just going through the process of setting up our Bluetooth adapter to my better Routeplanner here. If you don't know how to do this, you can use this link right up here to take a look at the process it takes to do that. I show it with a different OBD connector, but the process appears to be exactly the same. So now that we set up the OBD dongle to a better Routeplanner, it is now connected to my phone. We can see everything right here on the screen. We can see the state of charge at 64%. It shows the voltage. Everything is here, temperature and everything. Like, this looks good. All right, well, now you join me in a different car. This is a gas car. So we are in a 2007 Chevy Corvette now. So what we're looking at now is the Torque app, and what we're going to do is we're going to start the car up right now. All right, so now that we're in the Torque app, we can see a lot of the extra stuff that this adapter gives us. So let's go ahead and go for a quick drive, and we can see the real-time data changes there. All right, so let's get up to about 1500 RPM. And according to the tachometer, that is 1500 right there. And it looks about accurate on the screen of Torque, so that's good to see. Our speed is about, let's get this up to 20 here. And that is about 20 miles an hour right. Oh, it's like more like 19. Let's get the speed up to about 20 miles an hour. And that's 20 right there. So overall, I gotta say, it's working pretty well. We can see the real-time statistics on the screen in our Torque app. The adapter appears to be sending that data over relatively quick. Okay, now that the car is thoroughly warmed up, let's go ahead and see how this data changes on the screen. Well, overall, I gotta say, it seems like it works pretty well. It's hard to tell while driving, but it doesn't look like it froze up at all or the data stopped moving. It looked like everything was keeping in sync with the vehicle as best as I could tell. So yeah, that looks really good. So I think that this adapter is holding up pretty well for at least this short trip. All right, so before we wrap up the video, I just wanted to do a quick demonstration of how easy it is to use this Veepeak OBD2 adapter for your vehicles to troubleshoot. So what we're gonna use is this van right here as our demonstration vehicle. Now it does have the check engine light on. So what we're gonna do is gonna show you the process of basically just plugging in this adapter and just show you how easy it is to get the diagnostic codes off the vehicle. So all we're going to do is underneath the dashboard, like most vehicles, you have the OBD2 port. In this case, it's right about there. We're going to plug that in right there. Turn the ignition on. Excuse the beeping. And what we're going to do is we're going to open up the Torque app, which is the app that we're using on our Android phone here. And what we're going to do is we're going to let it, give it a second to connect to the adapter. Now this phone is already paired with the adapter, so that'll make this process a little easier. We're going to hit the fault codes button, and we're going to hit this to scan. So now it is requesting the fault codes. So here we are. We already see multiple fault codes for this vehicle. We can see it's scanning, and it's testing or checking different systems on the vehicle to make sure it has all of them. But that's pretty much the whole process. That's pretty much how simple it is to just check codes on any vehicle that you need to check codes on. So let's talk about this real quick. This, once again, is the Veepeak OBD2 scan tool BLE, not the BLE Plus. Does it work? Yeah, it seems to work great. Everything seems to function properly. It seems like all the data does get transferred over to the Torque app. A lot of times, some of the cheaper ones that you buy don't transfer all the data over properly, or you get some really weird variations. This seems to work pretty well. I mean, further testing will prove whether or not, you know, this is, a really good quality product, or if it's one of those cheaper ones you see on the market. But I don't think that's the case. I don't think it's one of those cheap ones. I think Veepeak puts a lot of effort into this product. I really like what they did with the size of this. I think this is the proper size for an OBD, scan tool. I think it should be no bigger than this. I think this is the absolute biggest it should ever be. So I think they did a good size with that packaging there of how big this product is. As far as the little case that comes with it that you can put it in, I think it's a great idea just for the sake of keeping it with you so you have some sort of tool. I will probably keep this in one of my vehicles all the time, just in case something was to pop up. I have a way to scan it real quick and know exactly what's going on with it. So that'll probably be exactly what that's used for. So we tried this in 2 different vehicles. Now keep in mind that once I paired it to my phone once, I was able to move it from one vehicle to the other without any issues. The connection was perfectly fine. So we were able to move it from vehicle to vehicle after pairing it once with this phone. We were able to utilize multiple apps using this and my phone to see data flow through clearly, properly, just worked perfectly fine. The Torque app, which is once again one of the probably most popular apps out there as far as vehicle diagnostics and so on and so forth. We also tried it in the electric car as well, and it was showing data coming through with that information as well. A better Routeplanner, which is now starting to use these OBD2 scanner tools as a way to send data back and forth between the EV and your phone for more accurate navigation when driving. That seemed to work perfectly fine with that as well. I didn't get to test it on like a road trip or something, so I can't say as far as long-term use, but in the short term, it seemed to have stayed connected to the vehicle. It seemed to keep the percentage of the vehicle there. There didn't seem to be any Bluetooth disconnects between this and my phone, so that was good to see as well. So yeah, I think this is a pretty good tool, a pretty good item to keep in your car. I think it works perfectly fine for check engine codes. If you need to use it for a better Routeplanner, it seems to work fine there. The Torque app seemed to be pretty accurate when it comes to reading and transferring that data to the phone. So I think Veepeak, I think you did a good job on this. I think this is a good product to keep in your vehicle. You never know when you're out somewhere and your check engine light happens to kick on. You may just want to quickly scan it just to see. Sometimes it's as silly as, you forgot to tighten the gas cap the last time you got gas. So this is one of those tools that can save you a lot of time, money, frustration. This is something that's always good to have on you. And for the cheap price of, $30 to $50 to $60, whatever these things go for nowadays, that's a good thing to keep on you. And it is good to keep a decent quality one. And there's maybe about 3 or 4 good brands out there. And Veepeak always seems to be one of the ones that stands out amongst a few others. So good job on this, Veepeak. I think you got a good product here. Thank you very much for sending this device to me and allowing me to review it for you. I may even do a follow-up video in the future with this device to test it more thoroughly. Maybe when I go on a road trip, I will test this device with a better Routeplanner, and I'll come back with the results on that as well to see how well this works for those long road trips. As for all of you out there looking to possibly purchase this product, yeah, I recommend it. I would recommend this for the price and for what it is. Well, anyway, I'd like to thank you very much for watching this episode. If you're interested in buying this adapter, I do recommend buying the Veepeak BLE OBD2 scan tool. So good product to buy if you need it. Go ahead and check us out on our website, techmotoring.com. We are on Facebook, facebook.com/techmotoring, on Twitter @techmotoring. I'd like to thank you very much again for watching. And remember, welcome to the future and welcome to Tech Motoring. And we will see you on the next episode.